Yo, what's up, guys? Wing It Daily here. And sorry for the long wait. I was planning something and um I have finally got everything set up. And yeah, I am doing a podcast, but this way I just need to talk about a few things and then I'll get into it. So, as you all know, um, I haven't been doing a podcast in quite a while. So, yeah. The reason for that is because I have been working on a secret project. Some of you I might have told, and some of you might still be in the dark. But be patient. Um, so, actually, I'll get to that in a minute. Or, why not? I'll tell you that and then I'll get to my other thing that I'm going to do before my podcast here. I am, I set up a YouTube channel. It's under the same name, Wing It Daily Blazing News. Or you can, if I can set it up correctly, that is, it might be under the same name as as the podcast, so that will be easy. Um, so yeah, there's that. So now I'll say something that I wanted to just put in here. These are for the two places that I go when I'm not um, trying to figure out a time to do podcasts before I started the channel. Um, so Tuesday to Thursday, I go to two programs. One is called Bomb Diggity Arts, and they're I like it. They're really nice. I go many different places, but I like it there because one, I they have a media program which I like, and they do videos and other things. But I sometimes do art and some other things as well. And what I do on Fridays is the Animal Refuge League. Now with all that out of the way and everything, let me get on to the um, podcast itself. Well, the two reasons why I'm doing this podcast anyway. Um, so I went up to to sister Juliana's, where she lived down in South Carolina, and things happened. I don't want to say what, but let's just say she got into an argument with someone. But and she wanted to get away from this person. So my mom Nancy and I, we both, well, we both went down to South Carolina to go help her. But it was a weird flight path, and a weird flight path just to get up there anyway. And it was just odd in itself. It was from Portland, Maine to Atlanta, Georgia to South Carolina. But the funny thing is that my sister was heading to Atlanta, Georgia. That's where she wanted to move to. She wanted to move closer. But it was just an odd flight path for us, because it was going down to Atlanta, Georgia, going to, and then flying to South Carolina, just to drive back to Atlanta, Georgia. So, yeah. It was just weird in itself. Just odd. Very, very odd. So, the drive. That's right. The drive. It was long, as I probably said before, but it was a 5-hour drive all the way down to Atlanta. It was long. Also, by the way, my sister has a cat that she has, and that her cat just did not like the car ride, because the cat didn't know where he or she, I don't remember what her cat's name is. I mean, if it's a boy or a girl, I know her cat's name. But my sister, she drove her car, and my mom and I rode in the truck. And so um sorry about that. So I drove with my mom, and it was just a long drive, and we had to secure everything in the back of the truck. I don't really like driving in trucks, just cause you can't really have a lot of things in the back of a truck, because if you have too many, then you'll have to put something around it, and it's not the greatest. So we tried to we secured it as tight as we could. We stopped a few times because it was a bit iffy for us and everything to, my mom didn't quite, trust the truck. And halfway through we of course stopped to eat because it was getting dark out and we didn't eat yet. So we did, but during the car ride, I just passed out. I was tired. And so when they stopped, I woke up and was confused where I was. That probably happens to a lot of people. Just, you're sitting somewhere, and then you just fall asleep, and you wake up 10 minutes later, and you have no clue where you are. And that was fun trying to figure out, like, oh yeah, I'm here. But, yeah, anyway, going back to the airport, going backwards a bit here, I realized I forgot one, detail. We didn't, since we flew down to South Carolina, instead of Atlanta, we did stop over in Atlanta, but that's not where we stayed. We got to South Carolina, but we didn't have a car because we weren't really staying there. So what was the point of even getting one in the first place? So my mom and I got a shuttle, one of those shuttle buses that airports have, and we stayed at the hotel airport. I don't remember the name of it. We stayed at a hotel airport. Ugh. I can't say that word for some reason. The next day, of course, after the airport, after we got to the airport and everything, I might be doing this out of order, but I'll get to where I left off. My mom and I ate, and of course my sister came in and she ate with us. And after we ate, we went to get our U-Haul. That all messed up, and then we got the Ram truck. And now we're at the stop that I left off at before backing up. So yeah, now that I've got everything together here, let's continue from the stop where I got confused where I was. So we got to the stopover. We ate some food. It wasn't a restaurant or anything. It was just a gas station. Just a gas station. Pick up food and go. One of those. And so we drove the rest of the way back to Atlanta. And my sister, she had a place. She didn't have a place to stay down there, so she had a Airbnb, like one of those homes that people rent out. I don't know what they're called, but it's somewhere for someone to stay who's looking for like an actual place to stay down there. But then my mom and I, we um we hair hair I hate it. We got to our hotel and everything that we were staying at, and not a hotel. It was like a fam. It was like It was something like an Airbnb, but it was um um it was like it was like a big family house that like small groups of families can stay in, and this was called the Peach House, and it was a lovely, lovely place. We looked around the in Atlanta, Georgia. We looked around the uh north northeast section, the northeast section of Atlanta, because that's the best area, the safest area in Atlanta, Georgia. And my sister, she looked out of that area. But thanks to my mom, since she's a real estate agent, she knew where to look and where not to look, because it gets a bit sketchy when you get away from town, and yeah, it's not the greatest place. But we looked at a couple of apartments here and there, and for me, I have a itch of I hate this place. You could call it a sixth sense, if you will, of if a place or if a person, it more or less happens when it for people themselves. It this more or less happens to people themselves, but I have a sixth sense where I'm just like talking to someone or listening to someone, and like then my brain or something says says that I don't like this person. This person isn't who you should be with. This person's dangerous. And most of the time, or not most of the time, all the time, I will I will listen to it all the time. There was one time that with my neighbors next door, um, I, of course, I felt my sixth sense, as I like to call it, and I, it told me that this just doesn't, that this person isn't right. But I disregarded it. She was nice for me for the longest time, so I'm just like, okay, I'll, we can be friends. And then after some time, this year actually, or not this year, during the last few, it happened actually, it started in 8th grade, that she started getting mean. And she told my friend Jessie, um, I was her first friend, and I'm her only friend. And I'm just like, what? And I thought, wait, what? You're not my only friend. You're not my first friend either. My very first friend was Abby Rappa. And my second friend was Sarah Rabinowitz. And Carolyn was my third, so she's not my first, I thought to myself. But for me, I never expressed myself that much. Well, when I'm out in public, I don't anyway. I don't like the attention, and if I do anything that people don't expect, then 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 they'll look and stare, and I don't like that. Doesn't really help at all either. Anyway, off topic again, but isn't that the point of my channel here? My podcast, my channel, I don't know at this point. But that's the name. It's Wing It Daily. I just talk and that's about all I do. Well, I move my hands and such, but isn't that me? That's just me every day. So it's not really changed at all. But anyway, I the last day the last day before my mom and I had to leave to come back to Maine, we finally found a place that I liked personally, which I felt safe for Jules to stay in. And it was a community, which being in a community with a bunch of other people, I like. And it allowed dogs. So, or animals, I should say, because my sister has a cat. And so we went and put in an application for this place that she likes. And she was the only person putting in an application. So it took a few days for it to process through. But she finally got it, and she was happy because she wanted somewhere to be. And so Jules is now settled and moved into the place that she's staying in now. The cat is happy, and so is she. But there's one last thing I completely forgot to mention. The date we went down to South Carolina. We went down to South. We went down there June 28th of June 28th of this year of 2019, and I'm just happy that she is settled and loves where she is. And with that all being said, I will see you in the next one.